Alright, what is up, you beautiful people, and welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl tier list. We got some more benchmarking with Phoenix here. Let's have a look at the Weekly Brawl modifiers. Oh, baby, we've got Gridlock. So Gridlock prevents you from leveling up to tier 2. I mean, not that Phoenix cares, I think. I mean, I can just slap down my boy Caldalis over here. What else do we have? We got Stockpile, so we start with more money. That's good. And we also got Homebrew, which gives us STIM on everything. Well, that'll be interesting. So look, this is definitely an early game only brawl. It looks like we got a TYCHUS on our team already. That's the right idea. You gotta get some TYCHUS here. Who do we have? We have a Manx. Manx is also pretty strong in the early game, so I feel like that's pretty good. Oh, I could have bought Talus, maybe. No, I could not have bought Talus here. Oh baby. Let's get in here. Caldalis. Let's see what I'm up against here. Oh, Empowered Blades maybe? Come on, Stim Pack, Stim Pack, Stim Pack, Stim Pack, Stim Pack. Ooh, Caldalis almost did it. Okay, well, I think all I need is a bunch of Adepts, I think. And I can probably support Caldalis quite nicely. Because Adepts with Stim Pack is, like, super good. Here, I'm going to put Talus over here, put that over here. This is going to be definitely an experience. Alright.
What's the plan?
Oh, yes, let me pop this down. Doesn't really help that I'm playing this at like 3 AM in the morning from where I am right now. I'm recording so early. You guys are wondering why? Because I'm going on a hike today. Yeah, technically today, because yeah. And so I gotta get this video recorded for you guys. And so if I make some sleep-deprived decisions, please excuse me. I'm gonna get the debilitation system here on Talus here, and I probably want Charge or Psionic Projections, maybe? Probably want Psionic Projections. I don't need Charge against the Hellbats, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Hand on Horn with the Hellbats here. This is gonna be a very interesting week. It means like, it literally means commanders like Swan are just literally just gonna have a pretty hard time, because Swan's early game is just not really that great. I don't know, but also I'm kind of worried about because Hand on Horn is actually pretty good, because Hand on Horn can just build grenade cards and then do a mass sell-off. That's kind of bad. And if I build a bunch of Adepts, I probably won't be able to... Can I fight Hand on Horn in the air anyways? I feel like I just lose. Rain or Bile in the early game is so good. Anyone who has a hero is going to be pretty good too. Carax might actually be okay, but I feel like he'll still be kind of bad overall. Can I get a Conservator, please? Conservator? Put down a Conservator here. Maybe I'll just put it over here. I'm just going to stack everything really close together because... Oh, baby. We're gonna need a Zealot charge here. There we go. Alright, Zealots, get in there. Get in there. Kill that Aegis Guard, baby. Okay, so I should probably get a gas here. I don't even know. Ooh. Oh, I'm just getting cut down here. What do I use to beat this, I think? This is a killer combo here. Probably Disruptors, but then if I build Disruptors against Han Hor, I'm gonna get faced with a bunch of Wraiths. And I think I have to build Scouts against Wraiths, but I will lose hard against Daemos Vikings. So I don't think it's a matchup I can actually win as Phoenix. Like, I might just have to keep going Adepts. Because I got Stim Pack, so at least I got that going for me. I'm going to try and probably space my one Legionary out a little bit more. But I don't know. Talus is the only one who's getting kills here. Could probably use some more meat shielding, I guess. Alright, just got that guy time. Ooh, there we go. I mean, the Stim Pack really... This is definitely an early game brawl. Does Tier 2 even benefit me in any way? Not really. Like, if anything, I want Colossus. I mean, I could use Phoenix, actually. I could use Praetor Phoenix. That would be useful. Praetor Phoenix's frontline wouldn't be too bad here, because that would let me just sort of dive in there. So I'm gonna try and go for this. By the way, guys, if you guys are new here to my channel and you guys enjoy Direct Strike content, well, be sure to watch this video until the end. We got some lag here. Let's join the 3 gas party. Oh, is this guy complaining that TYCHUS has gone 3 gas? You know what? TYCHUS, what are you doing? TYCHUS, what are you doing? Anyways, if you guys enjoy Direct Strike content, be sure to watch this video till the end, for the tier list, of course, and also to see if we end up pulling this off here, because it looks kind of dicey here. But you know what? I love them dicey games, because it just lets me show off whether or not we can come back or not. You know, sometimes there are games that are unwinnable, and that's okay. And it looks like I cannot pull my cannons back in time there. Manx is probably just going to chop me to pieces here. Actually, correct that. Hold that here. Kaldas here's going down, but he's got the Stim Pack on his side here. I'm going to get some ground damage upgrades here. Oh my god. Haunted Horror can probably just end me with Grenade Car Hellbats. They probably can just end me with Grenade Car Hellbats. Okay, so this guy looks like he's going for just Nikara and TYCHUS together. I mean, Nikara did get buffed in that they get a shield, but Grenade Cars are just too good against TYCHUS, guys. Like, you want to counter TYCHUS as Haunted Horror? Just get some Grenade Cars. Especially if TYCHUS isn't paying attention and he has no idea what he's doing. He's screwed. I think you can counter Grenade Cars with the Blaze. I'm pretty sure you counter Grenade Cars with the Blaze. Our Max is just kind of salty here. I'm pretty sure... Oh wait, both of these guys are armored, so they don't take bonus damage at all, but, from each other. But yeah, the Aegis Guards here should be able to hold their own here, but, the coming Manx Wave is going to be a bit of a bit troublesome. Can I pull my cannon back in time? No, I cannot. I cannot. I tried, guys. Okay, we got the Conservator here. That should help keep our units alive here against the Aegis Guards. We got Aegis Guards in the back supporting us here. That looks pretty good, actually. Things are looking up here, but, the real question is... Oh my god, there's so many. Aegis Guards are gonna melt like butter. Okay, so I'm gonna get Big Spin Phoenix here. I think that's what we need here. Thunder's Charge, Whirlwind, and Shield Capacity. I feel like I should micro this, because I feel like this is way too good not to micro. I'm basically playing a MOBA champion here. Grenade Cars aren't gonna do much damage to us. Maybe Haunted Horror is just gonna do a sell-off soon. So I'm gonna... He's not selling off. He's got a full wave here. But I'm going to put this down, put an Observer down over here. I'm pretty sure I still beat Haunted Horror with just using Adepts. I think that's the only way I do it, because I don't think I can contest Haunted Horror by building any air units. Because my scouts are kind of Ella-giggle. There we go, down another one of these guys over here. Okay, so I need to make sure that Phoenix here does his Thunderous Charge, and it does his Spin. And that should kill most of the things here, but that means he also has no Shield Capacitator. But that's okay. He spun and killed most of the things here. We got some... I got an Observer here? Okay, let's go for Thunderous Charge. Oh, he just died. He died. Oh god. Let's see. Because, like, I'm pretty sure... I don't know what... I don't think I can counter these Hellbats unless I build, like, Disruptors. But Disruptors are heavy slated to be ground. And so... I mean, TYCHUS is starting to take care of them with the Grenade now. So, at least we got that going for us here. That's a lot of Fire Bats from Raynor, though. I mean, it's a pretty good combination. Fire Bats are quite thick. I'm gonna try and grab Taldarin here if I can, because Taldarin is still he's still a good DPS unit, especially with the Stim Pack in the back here. I feel like Raynor, if he transitions to tanks, he could be really, really strong. Just because oh my god, that one Sky Fury landing getting obliterated here. Okay, here we go. So you guys are you're gonna charge in here and then just start spinning. Just start spinning here. Is he considered armored? He's not considered armored. Oh, I need to get the Shield Capacitor ability though. I probably shouldn't be using it so aggressively like that. Okay, the charge came out. Taldarin is out on the field. I just heard him. I returned to serve. He's got that super deep voice. I'm just gonna keep Taldarin on the field. See what he does. Give him an upgrade here. But now with a bunch of Boswells here, it looks like we're going to be able to take care of this no problemo. Looks like we might have a long game on our hands. Because it looks like, I think this week's Brawl, you might want to play like a super aggressive strategy. Is what I'm thinking in the early game. So play someone who's really strong. And if you are a commander who just doesn't have any options in the early game, then you just want to hold off for as long as possible. And try and transition to something. Although if you're playing like someone like Karax or Swan or Zagar, who has to have tier 3, you're a little screwed, I think. Now here's the thing: if I build a Colossus here, it might be a bad move. Okay, I'm not going to charge Phoenix in here. He has a better target to charge here. That, and then just start spinning. Just start spinning, boys. Oh my god, you got taken care of really fast here. Oh, there is a Wraith. There is a Wraith, boys. There it is. There's an Asteroid. I don't think I can actually beat the Asteroid. Like, at all. Like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to beat it. That's the thing. Because yes, I can build a Scout, but as soon as I start building Air against Han and Horner... And there's also a Raynor too. Like, Phoenix Air just cannot compete with Han and Horner Air. It's just too strong. But, I might as well build a Mojo. Okay, here, I'm gonna put this scout over here. I'm not scout, observer. My bad. Grab a Mojo over here. Did this guy come in the field? Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna get combat sensor arrays. Just jump in there. There we go. Start spinning. Mojo can get a suppression procedure, maybe. Maybe. Mojo has a bit more range here. Okay, suppression procedure is out. Oh god, Peldarin. Oh Jesus. Well, TYCHUS, I think, can deal with all these grenade cards quite nicely here. Mojo by himself is not going to be able to cut it here. Because this thing is, like, if I invest too much in scouts, I just lose. And carriers don't do enough for me. I'm pretty sure they don't do anything at Time Horner. And also because everything has stim pack, I think carries are quite bad. So I think I just want to try and flood my board with these guys here. And I'm going to switch over to Solarite Dragoon here. Because I think I need some firepower in the back line. So I'm just going to let this be autocast here. Solarite Dragoon. There we go. Oh my god. I'm getting annihilated here. Holy. I just got completely... Oh, it's those Aegis Guard. It's those Aegis Guard. Oh. Jeez. My wave just got punched. I think... I don't even know what I needed there. I wasn't even watching. I was like, oh, this is fine, right? You know what? Maybe having Phoenix there, like a Praetor Suit Phoenix there would have been better. Let's see. 39k damage out here. Manx and I were doing on par with each other, I guess, in terms of damage taken. I took a little bit more. But our opponents are just really hammering us here. So as you guys can see here, these guys are all pretty good early game commanders here. Manx is going to be especially good this week because Manx can honestly stay on tier 1 for as long as he wants. And so can Raynor, honestly. And let's see. Mineral Value killed, yes. So TYCHUS here really not pulling his weight here. I would have actually gone with a few blazes, honestly. Like a blaze. And then... Actually, what would you build against this? Because you're against this, right? And you're against this. So probably it's like... a blaze, probably not a Vega in this situation. Although Vega shouldn't be bad. I don't know. Yeah. Let's have a look at the resources here. It's okay. All right. Well, let's go right on to the tier list. All right, and we're back. Let's get right to it. So for those of you who've decided just to skip forward, I don't know if there are any of you. Here's the game plan. As per usual, we got the ores, the overall strategy, and the commander rankings in that order. And if you guys are new here to my channel, be sure to drop a like and a sub if you find this content interesting and you want to keep up. Let's get right to it. So, Brawl modifiers. We have lockdown. So you cannot tech up until a certain time in the game. So I believe lockdown makes it so that you cannot get to tier 2 until 4 minutes into game, I think. 4 or 5 minutes into game. I don't recall exactly. And then I think tier 3 is locked at 7 minutes into the game. So it's going to be quite a while before you have access to those tiers. Next, we have Stockpile. So we start with extra money. And then we also have TYCHUS' Homebrew. And so units gain a powerful stim pack. And they also have health regen over time. So strategy for this week is you just want to play for a very powerful early game. Just like go all in the early game. Pick commanders with heroes. Because if you have a hero, you're going to do a lot better in the early game. Usually how people counteract heroes is to go for some sort of tier 2 or tier 3 sort of tech that allow them to counter it, but they can't do it this time. And so they're screwed, and they have to work with what they got. And usually what they got is not good enough. And don't play commanders that are dependent on tier 3. I think that's going to be pretty obvious this week. So here's the rankings. So I think over here, I actually have Manx here in the first position because Manx's bio is actually completely disgusting, and in tier 1 it is so strong. And if you have 5 minutes of it, you can't tech up to get Psystorm, you can't tech up to get any sort of counter AoE. It's going to be hell. Next we have Han and Horner. Han and Horner, I think I have them up here is because Han and Horner can commit for a pure early game push, like just throw all in like what that guy just did with the Hellbats and the grenade cars. And if it doesn't work out, can sell everything back and do something else. And I think this versatility is really going to put Han and Horner like in the S tier for sure for this week. Might not be as strong as other commanders, but I can tell you they're going to scale better. Because like if you go for an all-in and it doesn't work, then it might be botched. Like your entire build might be screwed up. But HOMEBREW can just transition immediately. Next we have Alarak. So I think Alarak is probably one of the best tier 1 commanders out there, because you can just probably build Alarak and just keep feeding him chicken nuggets, give him a Havoc or something, and he'll probably be able to stay alive quite a bit. Support him with a few Slayers, but I think you can just go like pure chicken nugget Alarak. I don't know, actually. Alarak might get burned down, or his chicken nuggets might get burned down too fast by Manx over here, but I still think he's quite good, especially because Stimpack benefits a lot of his very slow attacking units if he has to have the option to go to the next tier. And then A tier, I have TYCHUS. Mostly because TYCHUS does really well in lockdown, and because of stockpile, he has a little bit more cash access. But because of Stimpack, he doesn't do quite as well, because you want to sort of spam lots of units with Stimpack, and he kind of has less units to spam, and he has less health to really split up the damage on. But that being said, being on lockdown, TYCHUS is still quite strong, because a lot of commanders have to access like tier 2 or 3 to really get good counters to what TYCHUS has to put out. And then next here in the A tier, we have Nova. So I'm thinking if Nova opens Marauder Commandos, for the most part, she can deal with enemy heroes, and Nova herself is quite strong. And Marauder Commandos are pretty strong. The only like hard counter to them is just spamming like small units. So I guess like that could be the only way. That could be a really easy way around them, to be honest. Nova will not really have an answer to that for quite a bit of time. But you know, Marauder Commandos have a lot of health. They can hold their own, I think, with this Stimpack. And she's also a great TYCHUS counter in the case that this is going to be probably a TYCHUS week. And then next in the A tier, we have a Raynor. So I'm thinking just the classic Raynor bio, Firebat Marauder. Just run it down for the first 5 minutes and see where that takes you. Well, obviously because you have no other choice, right? And then you can probably do like a tank transition this week if you want to do the Stimpack on the tanks. Although I'll probably still go Death Fleet, because Death Fleet is always just the better scaling one. But we'll see. Aggro Raynor bio is quite strong. Just don't build the Marines and you should be fine. Kerrigan here I foresee also being quite strong, because Kerrigan, the hero, is very powerful. Slap a bunch of queens to back her up, and suddenly she's almost unkillable. And it's kind of like you're just kind of playing like Alarak too, except you have a lot more health than Alarak. And yeah, I don't know. I think she might be better, but she doesn't scale as well. So it's like after that, like you don't really got much besides like Kerrigan and her queens. Like you have to drop like Ultralisk and stuff. So at least she can access her Hydros at tier 2, which is quite a strong unit for her. So she's still going to be doing quite well. Next in the B tier, we have Dehaka. So I think Dehaka, small Dehaka is quite powerful, but compared to like the other aggro commanders, I don't think it's going to be as great. Like, he has access to like 175 HP Roach at tier 1. He has access to Hydralisk in tier 1. He has access to the thickest Zergling at tier 1. He also has Ravasaurs, which do anti-armor. And so, like, Dehaka's tier 1 is pretty good. It's just kind of expensive. But that, Stockpile should help you out there. And he can actually probably stall out a little bit too if he builds like a bunch of worms. So he's kind of good for like, doing a mid-game transition if you don't want to commit fully to small Dehaka. So I think he's okay, because he's just thick. He doesn't really do too much damage, and he's sort of just meat shields for the team. Next in the B tier, we have Abathur. So I'm just thinking Abathur Roaches are going to be pretty good here, like the Roach Queen combo opener, because Roaches will be able to, they're tanky, they have all of their upgrades available at tier 1 now, which is great, I think, except for maybe only adaptive plating, if I am mistaken. I think maybe even that might be tier 1 now. But yeah, these Roaches are really good against a lot of like light units with the Hydrotic Bow upgrade, and they're also pretty durable, and they can also slow enemies' attack speed, making them deal essentially no damage, and they're also stim, so they'll do that slow attack speed even faster. So Abathur's going to be quite good. You can probably transition to Swarm Host, or like probably not Air Fleet, because the Death Fleet will only start building up at 10 minutes, because that's when you can unlock it by research. So probably going to have to be a Swarm Host one for Abathur. But I think he's going to do okay. And then next here, we have Phoenix. I think if I didn't run into Hot and Horner, I probably would have been able to dominate as Phoenix. I'm actually not sure how I was supposed to play that matchup, because like Hellbats just completely counter my Legionaries, and they also counter my Adepts too, and I just didn't, like, there's no point in me buying more Legionaries, because the Hellbats just do splash damage anyway, so if I bought more Legionaries, it would have been wasting money, which is why I went for more Adepts. However, more Adepts is sort of like, they're okay if you get the firing time off, but yeah, but I think overall Phoenix should be okay. His units are still quite expensive though, so they don't benefit from the stim pack as much because you can't spam as many of them. So there's that working against them. But I think overall he'll do okay. He'll do okay if you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing some of the times with Phoenix. I sort of just like, muddle through it. And then next we have Stepman. So I think Stepman is just going to be like in the middling tier. I think you can probably do like a lot of damage with Banelings because he does have them available at tier 1 and he does have all the upgrades. So I'm pretty sure just your standard Stackbreaker Stepman, except you build Banelings for the first like 7 minutes of the game. You know what? That sounds great to me, actually. So I think Stepman's going to do quite well. You won't have access to Gary, but then again, you don't really need access to Gary until you hit a critical mass of Banelings, and you're like, maybe I should get something that stacks. But yeah, I think Stepman will do just fine. Holding the line and also being able to run over your opponents. Unless he runs into TYCHUS, I think. That's the only bad thing that could happen. And then next we have Stukov. Stukov has a very diverse toolkit for tier 1. He's got bunkers, which are tanky. He's got lots of marines and civs, and he's got his own volatile infested. And marines on stim are quite good. I think maybe you could just go pure small Stukov, like just skip the bunker, I think. Because the bunker is a lot of money, like 365. If you have 365 minerals worth of, not 365 minerals worth of stim to civvies, that would be terrifying. But yeah, I think Stukov's going to be quite good. He can transition quite well into some tier 2 powerhouse units like Diamondbacks and Banshees if he needs to. And then obviously tier 3s, you really only get it for the APOC. But if you got to bring in the APOC, then it's gotten serious. But yeah. And in the C tier, we have Artanis. So I might be underestimating Artanis' Honor Guard capabilities, but at the end of the day, Honor Guard are still melee units. Even if they spin, yes, they'll counter most Zerglings and other enemy melee units, but I feel like they're not going to be good enough. And the only other unit he has at tier 1 is the Dragoon, which with Stim Pack is not too bad, but don't get me wrong, it's not too bad. But like, imagine running into a bunch of Raynor Marauders or Nova Marauders. Like, Raynor Marauders are gonna have their own Stim Pack and the TYCHUS Stim Pack, and they'll probably be shooting you like twice a second, while the Dragoons are just like, hey, I got like a little bit more attack speed. Now I actually attack once a second instead of once every 1.2 seconds. Yeah, Dragoons don't stand a chance against that. And the thing is, yes, you have Guardian Shell more often, but like, I personally prefer to put Guardian Shell on like bigger, sort of more important units like Archons or Immortals. But now you kind of might have to be forced to drop Guardian Shell on your Dragoons, which is like, I guess it's okay. I just don't like it because Dragoons don't have as much health and they don't have as much just punching power to them. So you're also like locked out of your most powerful units, which is all in tier 2, your Immortals and your Archons. That being said though, like, it's only in tier 2, so you can get access to them quite early, so you're at least a little better off than the other commanders to follow, basically. And so yeah, if you can make it past the tier 2 mark and you can get to tier 2 and you can stabilize, then you should be fine as Artanis, because your opponent's probably going to have lots of small units. Probably. I'm saying probably. But yeah. And next in the C tier, we also have Vorzun. So Vorzun's tier 1 is just Centurions and Stalkers. Normally that would be okay, but Stalkers don't have their shield regeneration until tier 2, which is kind of bad. I think you can still probably spam Stalkers as Vorzun this week and do okay. You'll just be stalling as an enemy shield, but you won't stall as effectively because your opponents are going to hit you faster. Yes, it'll hit them faster, but Stalkers, let's be honest, don't have a lot of attack speed, and they're not really like a aggro unit, so like they're just sort of there to stay alive. And if your opponents can kill them faster than you can build them, then you're in trouble. Centurions can stun the wave, but that's about it. They don't really have any DPS. Like, most of the Vorzuns, like, good like pseudo AoEs in tier 2. You got like the disruption web coming up from the Corsairs. You got Dark Templars, which should dice up lots of Zerglings, but you can't get those anymore. So I think Vorzun's in a slightly worse off spot than Artanis, I think. And I don't know, overall she might be in a worse spot. I don't know. And then in the D tier, we have our D tier brothers, Swan and Carax. So Swan's tier 1 is just the laser beam, Hellbats, and like Goliaths. Goliaths suffer from the same issue as Dragoons. They cost too much and they do too little damage compared to other tier 1 units that people could be rushing. And most of your good units are in tier 2 and tier 3 respectively. Carax also comes as no surprise this week, honestly, because you kind of just want to go air as Carax, honestly. Like as a strong scaling option. That is, you could go for like pure Crusher Ground if you're against an opponent who has no ear capabilities at all, which is highly unlikely. You could probably stall quite effectively with just the Sentinel spam, because your Sentinels do revive when they die, but like that's about all you're going to be able to do for your team. You're just going to be a meat shield. Although I think you will have your first beam at 5 minutes, which could be useful if you do like a timing push with your team. Like one of your team players goes like Manx or TYCHUS or someone super aggressive like Rainer, and then you beam down that wave that they're facing, and then they crash into the next wave. You might be able to do that as a supporting player, but I don't see Karex doing too well this week. And then last in the D tier, like probably like the lowest D this week is probably going to be Zagara, mostly because you cannot get access to your best unit, the Aberration, until like 7 or 8 minutes into the game. Yeah. You're going to be building like Zerglings in tier 1, which kind of suck, and Queens, which also kind of suck, and then Zagara, which is like, So, yeah, and then when you go to tier 2, you don't actually get anything. You don't get any bonuses in tier 2. You just get a Corruptor and some Scourge and an Overseer, and you're just like, great. So Zagara's actually, I want to say, worse than Karex this week. I know Karex is sort of like, has been like the butt of like all my tier lists, but it's just because, I don't know, the fact that he has a beam, it makes it hard for his units to be too strong, and I think like that's like sort of a design flaw. It's like a balancing issue, right? It's like if he like say Karex had access to Stalkers as a tier 1 unit, right? That would honestly make him a little too good, I think. And that's sort of reason why like his ground units don't shoot up. I'm pretty sure it's to give him that like significant weakness, because if he has a beam, he can just blast like half a wave or a whole wave away, and every 5 minutes. And you might say, oh, it's every 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes could mean everything, right? Especially if you're pushed in, bam, Karex beams your wave down, your opponent wins the game, right? So it's just why Karex, like, he's polarizing. If you're in a good situation, he is gonna do even better. If you're in a kind of bad situation, you're probably screwed. But yeah, that's the tier list for this week. Let me know what you guys think about my ratings. If there's anything I missed, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I always love hearing back from you guys. And until next time, I will see you guys later.